Hey y'all, it's Nate, and I'm here with some really exciting news to share. This is the new 2025 Route 66 guide. We produced it right here at Oklahoma Today magazine, and we're ready to release it into the world. And we thought, what's the best way we could possibly do that? Let's get out on Route 66 and let's have a great big party. So on Saturday, March 29th, we hope you'll join us at Meadow Gold Max in Tulsa's Meadow Gold District. We'll be there from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We'll have some speakers, we'll have some Route 66 love, we'll have some merch you can buy. We'll even have J.D. McPherson there. The great J.D. McPherson will be DJing. He's going to be spinning vintage vinyl. We've also got the Meat and Cheese Show is going to be there with their food truck, so you'll have great bites to eat. We're going to have the best time, and we can't wait for you to join us. That's Saturday, March 29th from 11 to 1 in Tulsa's Meadow Gold District. We look forward to seeing you there.
And welcome back to the Oklahoma Today podcast. I'm your host, Ben Lucian, aka the Leprechaun at the end of the rainbow this St. Patrick's Day. And it is our lucky day after all, because today we're talking about the reopening of the Betty Price Art Gallery at the Oklahoma State Capitol. This is a free-to-visit gallery that features work from some of the most recognizable names in Oklahoma art, including Ed Ruscha, Allan Skip Hill, just to name a few. We went to the grand reopening recently and talked to Oklahoma Arts Council Executive Director Amber Sharples about all the work it took to reopen the new gallery. We'll talk about that in a minute, but first, how about a word from our sponsor? The Oklahoma Visual Arts Coalition is a nonprofit that helps develop the Oklahoma visual arts community through education, promotion, connection, and funding. Since 1988, OVAC has worked closely with Oklahoma artists, educators, organizations, and communities to ensure visibility and opportunity while promoting public interest in the arts across the state. To learn more about how OVAC supports artists and to personally contribute to a growing arts community in Oklahoma, visit OVAC, that's OVAC-OK.org. All right, now let's bring on the rest of our team here. We're all looking very green.
St. Patrick's Day.
Three of us got the memo.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Four.
Yeah, Chris,
yeah.
for the record. It might have even been Chris's idea. I don't know. But
think
yes,
it was.
It is.
I have a green.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
I thought it was a
Oh,
shamrock,
hey.
but it's a
Okay, it
paw
counts.
print.
it's paw print because I just got back from a zoo event.
Yes, that was the zoo.
It was very lovely. We saw our former colleague Greg Elwell there, as well as Candace Reynolds, who we love
Lovely human
at
being.
the zoo.
Yeah.
And lots of other lovely people and lovely animals. And I fed some lorikeets and looked at some lions. And they told us all about the new stuff that's coming up at the zoo. And there's a lot.
It's a good event every year. They do a really good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Good times.
Well, do you all want to answer a Tuesday trivia question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, on the podcast, we talked a lot, or at the magazine, we talked a lot about Oklahoma's connections to the film industry, and they're growing all the time.
All the time.
And Nathan, you actually picked this question.
I
out
did.
this time.
You were
Yes.
out, and so I wrote this one.
Yes. When was the last time anyone viewed the movie Far and Away with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman?
Probably about a year or two ago.
Oh, really? That's
recently?
pretty recent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I love that movie.
It's a great movie.
It was a scrapper.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a great movie. You're a
Well-
corker, Shannon. You're a corker.
Yes,
Yeah.
appropriately.
There's so
Yeah.
many great lines.
Yeah.
Appropriately, here on this St. Patrick's Day, deals with Irish immigrants participating in one of the Oklahoma land runs. So our Tuesday trivia question, which is a popular one online, is who was the director of this 1992 film?
Also someone with an Oklahoma connection.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ron Howard.
It is Ron Howard. Absolutely.
Yep.
Ron Howard from Duncan, Oklahoma.
Yep. Opie.
His
Yeah.
his brother is in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
True. Yeah.
And another redhead to just continue piling on to the St. Patrick's
Have you ever
Day
seen that
connection.
movie? It's way before your time. It's like
No.
1992. Highly recommend. It's a great film.
I know
about...
the Opie reference because I loved that growing up.
Love the Andy,
Yes.
the Andy Griffith Show.
Yeah, I used to watch it with my dad, and then I did a book report on Ron Howard when I was in like 4th grade because we had to write about an Oklahoman.
I love that.
Oh, there you go. Yes.
Do you know this movie, Chris? Have you seen Far and Away?
Have not seen it.
Recommend it. It's really good. My only beef is that it was shot in Montana instead of here.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's lame.
And they didn't need to do that, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's
It was
a
different
great
time.
film.
It definitely would have been shot here today if they made that movie today.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of green things, how about a question of the week? You know, things are it's spring. It's approaching.
Yeah.
It's a time of fresh beginnings. So my question simply was, what are you looking forward to this spring? It's a time of new opportunity. Nathan, what are you looking forward to this spring?
I just got a press release this morning that I was really excited about that said that the Scissortail Park Farmers Market is reopening in April.
That's a good
yeah.
And it's going to be twice a week now. It's going to be Wednesday nights and Saturday mornings.
Oh, that's nice.
I know, isn't that great?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really, it's one of my favorite things during warm weather is to go to we go every Saturday morning, really, like from April to October, like go to the Scissortail, go to the other one, the downtown one, the original Farmers Market, get veggies and all kind of stuff for the week. We go to Urban Agrarian over in the Farmers Market District. We try to buy as much kind of local type stuff as we can, and it's, and we still do it in the winter, like, Urban Agrarian and the Farmers Market is open in the winter. Please visit them, they're amazing. But yeah, so like, go get some veggies and maybe like a chicken to roast and all local and all, just, and the other part is like you get to walk around, like so much of the city is there. You really feel like you're a part of Oklahoma City.
Yes.
In a way that's just lovely and cool, and the warmer it gets, the more people are out, and there's a million dogs everywhere. It's just the best time. I love the farmers market.
I like that it's going to be open Wednesday nights because I am not a get up and go somewhere on the weekend morning kind of person. So, and I love to look at all the dogs at Scissortail Park.
Yeah.
It is a good place for dog spotting.
Yeah. So
It
that starts the first Saturday in April, and I hope that I will see lots of you there.
And I need to re-up on my local honey.
Oh, yeah, you do.
I do too.
I need to
Yeah.
do mine
Yeah,
too.
totally.
Well, Kirsten, what are you looking forward to this spring?
Going fishing.
Later.
Fishing. I got a new fishing pole for Christmas. So far, I've used it once this year because we've only got to go once. But
Where'd you
going
go?
Fishing.
Where you go
We just went
fishing?
to our friend's grandparents' house. Okay. So,
Cool.
but I want to go to like more of the lakes and stuff. But then I guess also keeping on theme with green, golfing. We're gonna pick back up our golf game now that it's not freezing outside.
Yeah,
Nice.
right. Kirsten's a passionate fisher person. I didn't.
Yeah.
I love fishing.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah. You would get along with a lot of my family members, I think. Megan, what is your spring looking forward to seeing?
Thunderstorms.
okay.
That's my favorite thing about spring is the rain and we get this beautiful weather for a little while until it turns into summer, which I am not a fan of. But yeah, the rain and the thunderstorm, I love the thunderstorms. So
You actually wrote a whole blog about things you're looking forward to, and
I did. I did. It seems so long ago. Yeah, I know. Like wildflowers is another one. The return of fireflies, which I don't think I said in my blog, but I guess I should have. And there were some other things I said in my blog that I don't remember.
You
now.
brought up the Arts Festival.
Oh yeah,
That's
the
a
Arts
big one,
Festival, the Azalea Festival in Muskogee.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the whole month of April, pretty much, and it's beautiful.
We should take a trip. We should take a day trip over and go there
Yeah.
and go see the azaleas
yeah.
and like eat in Muskogee and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
That
wouldn't
would
be
be
cool?
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should do that.
Yes. Future us, memo.
Yes. Future us, Muskogee.
Well, so for my answer, we all know I'm a big basketball guy, and spring is basketball season, basically. The Thunder...
This season, especially
this season.
Yeah.
So the Thunder have had a lot of great seasons in their history. We're thankful for that. But there's a lot of metrics out there that will say that this Thunder team is not only one of the best Thunder teams to ever play, but one of the best teams to ever play in the NBA, period.
Yeah.
Over Michael Jordan, LeBron James, any of those teams.
Yeah.
But that won't mean anything if they don't win in the playoffs. And the spring is when the playoffs takes place. So I'm excited to see what the Thunder can accomplish this postseason.
It's going to be really exciting.
It
you
is.
guys remember, y'all remember what it was like when we had the finals here. I mean, it was
Yeah.
That
intense.
that was one of the craziest couple of months. Like we saw Shaq
Oh,
just
yeah.
randomly, remember?
And his tiny girlfriend.
And, she was like a third his size.
This is definitely the best, the most likely opportunity for the Thunder to make the finals since that time.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
yeah.
For sure. That's exciting.
So,
That's a good answer.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
on that one.
What about you, Chris?
Yes, behind the camera, Chris.
What I'm looking forward to, being a guy that loves the outside, is I'm looking forward to the flowers. I'm looking forward to the leaves budding out on the trees. I'm looking forward to all the what are they called? The birds and things that aren't here during the winter come back. What would that be called? I blanked. Yeah.
The birds and the bees.
Yeah.
Right?
Scissor tails and things like that. And then living out in the country, the foals are on the ground, the calves, the baby goats. If you frequent the stores I frequent, there's baby chicks in the bins. And so that's what I look forward to. And not to go against Megan, but I love the summer. So for me, yeah, I know, no big deal. I still love you. But for me, spring is just, here comes summer. You get the pool ready, and I love mowing and I love all those things. So I'm just a summer guy. So spring is like, thank God winter's over for me, so.
All right. What do people say online?
Well, we don't have online answers.
Oh, well,
However,
nothing.
I do need to. I always miss the correct answer for the Tuesday trivia.
No, we said.
So, no. But who won? It
Oh,
was,
who won? Yeah.
Rhonda Redshaw from UConn.
Way to go, Rhonda.
Yes.
Good job.
Congratulations, Rhonda. You will be getting an Oklahoma kicker. So stay tuned for that. All right. Well, we've talked about what we're looking forward to this spring. So let's go ahead and go to the Oklahoma State Capitol to learn about the Betty Price Art Gallery.
This is such a great day for Oklahoma. I am so happy that we're reopening this incredible art gallery, the Betty Price Gallery. The Arts Council has brought together Oklahoma's most highly regarded artists in one collection. And I can't think of a more appropriate place to show off this collection than right here at the state capitol. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Now it's time to see the gallery.
Joined right now with Amber Sharples, Executive Director of the Oklahoma Arts Council. We were here earlier for the opening of the Betty Price Gallery, which I'd have to say was a huge success. But thanks for coming back here later now that it's a little more calmed.
Well, thank you for coming back and really wanting to delve a little bit deeper into this collection.
Yes, absolutely. And I know the Betty Price Gallery, getting it reopened, it's been a huge work in progress. Can you give me a good idea of how long of a process this was to reopen the gallery?
It's been more than a year-long process. It actually took us a couple of years to secure a new space here in the state capitol. This is the most premier real estate in the state, as you can imagine. And so we feel really honored that the legislature helped us get us a new space for the Betty Price Gallery where we can highlight our state's most premier artists and our collection, the People's Collection. And so we have been working more than a year to get this back up on its feet.
Right. Yes, and it looks fantastic. I want to know how many Oklahoma pieces do we have in here and how many artists are represented?
So in the collection, there's nearly 300 works between our works on paper collection and other pieces of art that we own as part of the People's Collection, the State Art Collection. We've been acquiring this collection since 1971.
Okay.
So we've been working for decades to collect and acquire and grow the state's most significant artists from pre-statehood to the present. And I think we're going to see great growth and more excitement and people who want to donate and also help us acquire new works because this is a great space to feature it.
Yes, and so we are in the Betty Price Gallery, and Betty Price was the former executive director of the Oklahoma Arts Council. What can you tell me about the legacy, the arts legacy that Betty Price leaves in Oklahoma?
Well, I worked with Betty. I was her last visual arts director, and so I saw firsthand her passion for collecting artwork. She was a painter herself, a hobbyist painter, which we actually have a piece right behind us over in the corner to recognize her own love of the arts. But what she wanted to do is she wanted us to, as an agency, continue this path of acquiring the state's artists from works on paper, photography, beadwork, functional art like the bench behind me that's actually a piece of furniture, to premier paintings and fiber art, quilts, everything that Oklahomans make that really represent us, reflect who we are. And so she worked for decades to help us get this gallery space in 2006. When we lost that premier space, we really wanted to make sure that we recognized her legacy, and we worked with state leaders to get this space. And so I'm excited that we can continue her passion into the next chapter. And I hope everyone comes out, every Oklahoman comes and sees the space.
Yes, and I'm sure she'd be very pleased with the state of the gallery now. You mentioned the bench right here. This is an art piece, this bronze bench.
Yes, this bench is a 2,000-pound bronze bench that was done by Kelly Gale Amon. He is originally from Weatherford, so what I love about that is he's a rural-based artist. He now works in Houston, Texas, but he works around the world in different design components and furniture. But when this gallery space was opening originally in 2007, he wanted to gift a piece because he felt that having functional art, showing designers, makers, people who are beautifying spaces but then consider themselves artists, this was an area that we wanted to embrace and cherish, and he wanted to gift this. And it also gives our visitors a place to rest,
Functional art.
contemplate.
Yes.
You know, whenever you're looking, you want to have space, and you also want to have a place to reflect. And that's what the beauty of this piece is that it supports you literally as you're trying to engage and take in all the other beautiful works, and then also recognize the importance of functional art as part of our lives.
And also, I know this place right here. This is Quartz Mountain, right?
It is Quartz Mountain. This is by Norman-based artist Carol Beasley, longtime beloved artist in the arts community. I know she came after the opening to see this, and I know she was very moved by it being on the front wall. But our curator of Capitol Exhibitions, Erin Latham, she picked this for the front wall, and I think it's a beautiful piece. It's symbolic. Many artists are created and given opportunities at Quartz Mountain, and it's also, we love our formations here in Oklahoma.
Yes.
We love our land. We love our connection to land, and this really shows the connection between artists and space and place. And being an Oklahoman, we love the landscape of Oklahoma. So this is a great place to start.
Probably nowhere more beautiful than Quartz Mountain.
Right,
sure.
and peaceful, right?
Yes.
And we want people to come here and have a place of reprieve. This can be a very vibrant building, and this is a place to give emotional.
I used to work at the state capitol, and I would come into the Betty Price Gallery, I guess whenever I needed to blow off some steam or something.
Right.
So I'm glad it's back, so people have the chance to do that again.
Right.
Are there any other pieces around here that we should check out?
You know, there's some great pieces. There's
Yes.
the Ed Ruscha that's right here as you coming in, but I love this piece. This is the Joan Hill. It's called Women's Voices at the Council. This piece was commissioned by the Commission on the Status of Women. One of the things that they wanted to add to the collection and gift was a piece that highlighted how women are central in decision-making within Native communities, and she wanted to feature this important aspect. And so I think what's invaluable about this collection is that multiple voices get to be heard, and we get to showcase some of the state's most premier artists, like Joan Hill, who is known not only in around Oklahoma, but beyond.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I love this piece right here. I don't want you to spoil everything that's in the gallery, but is there anything else that really sort of stands out?
You know, what I love in the back is you'll see this beautiful shaped canvas piece that's on the far back wall. That's our Leon Polk Smith, probably one of the most significant Oklahoma artists. What I love is the contrast to Joan Hill, which is representational, figurative, portraiture. Then you have an artist who really thought outside the box. Why even paint on a square or a rectangle canvas? Why not change it to round canvases And he was born around the Chickasha area, and what he loved was the star constellations, the sky. And so his artwork is really derived from looking into the night sky, looking at stars and constellations where there wasn't light pollution, right? And so how do you contrast representational? Then we have very abstract pieces, so there's a little bit of everything for everyone.
I do love the variety here in the gallery. And what collection is this? I know there's the Oklahoma collection and the state collection. And what is the difference there?
So this is the Oklahoma State Art Collection. This is a collection that has Oklahoma artists. They either had to be born in, trained in, or spend a significant amount of time producing art in our state. This is the collection of artists and how they see the world. So it can be Oklahoma subject matter, or it can be that they go and travel the world and they interpret the world, but it's through an Oklahoma lens. So they can do subjects of buffaloes, they can do maybe international photography, and they're capturing other cultures.
Right.
It's the diversity of how they engage with the world as an Oklahoman. What do they bring to that? The Capitol Art Collection is the artwork that's in the public areas of the Capitol. That is specifically honed in on what is the Oklahoma history, people, and places that have shaped us as a people. So it's Oklahoma history centric. So you'll see the landscapes of Oklahoma, you'll see notable portraits of Oklahomans from governors, statesmen and women, etc.
It tells kind of the story, the narrative.
Right, it's a narrative of Oklahoma. This is how do Oklahomans interpret and engage with the world, and that can mean a lot of different things, and it can mean they use a lot of different mediums and different materials, and they can have it can be something I recognize or it can be something I don't. And it shows the individuality of what it means to be an Oklahoman. And the other collection says, what are we collectively as Oklahomans?
Right. Now, I don't mean to hijack the interview, but can we go over here and look at like one of my favorite things?
Yes, of course you need to.
I have the bag.
You need to know the bag.
The bag is just so cool to me.
Jerry
and the
McMillan.
People have to see it. Yes.
You know, this is really interesting. This really shows contemporary work, right? You look up and you kind of walk up to it and you say, what is this? But it's really a lithograph with a print sculpture. So what I love about this is it takes kind of an everyday object and then makes it a work of art.
Right.
It pulls you in. You want to look at what is the interior of this piece. Versus if you saw something in the public areas of the Capitol, it's going to be very traditional. It's not going to maybe ask you to look at common materials or the way that you engage with the world as this does, as Jerry McMillan. And this is fun. He was known as a very contemporary artist. This was done in the 1970s when people were thinking about how they used objects in different ways and how you kind of engaged. So it's a nice contrast.
And if my dad had put my sandwich in that bag, I think I would have been
You would have eaten your lunch?
A little more excited.
You would have eaten your lunch
no
every day?
Dad, yes.
Oh yeah, ham sandwich, put it in there. You can't take this to school.
No, you cannot.
Yeah.
So what does this collection that we've seen, what does this sort of say about Oklahomans as a people?
I think it says that we are incredibly diverse, and I think this helps dissolve stereotypes and maybe the way that sometimes Oklahomans get penned into certain categories of only Western or Native, and it shows that we are those things. Plus, we're contemporary, we're innovative, we're creative, we travel the world, we see the world in different ways, but we are connected to the land, and you will see that theme of connection of what it means to be an Oklahoman.
Right.
And it comes through all of these pieces in one way or another. Not everyone's going to love every piece that is in this collection, and I don't know that we're asking them to. We're asking them to come in here and where do you see that you connect? What resonates with you, with your own personal experience? And then how can you be challenged to see that Oklahomans have very distinct life paths, and they've gone everywhere from Thailand. We have artists that went to Thailand and took photography, took photographs, and those are in this collection. And so what does that mean, and what does that look like, and how are they bringing the world back to me to see as well? And that's fun, right?
Yeah, and the Capitol is the first place that so many people see in Oklahoma. It's like their introduction to Oklahoma. So to have a room like this that you, like you said, kind of breaks down some stereotypes and also shows off the talent that is in the state. I mean, the Capitol's the perfect home for a place like this.
Absolutely, and I think that Oklahoma may be one of our challenges is that we've really been a place that has generated and cultivated creatives and people who have immense talent, music, visual arts, and beyond. And in the past, I think we've probably been better about exporting it than promoting it. And I hope that this space, this is what the Arts Council hopes, is that by promoting it, we keep our people here, we elevate their practice, and that we celebrate them, and that we retain them, and that we embrace them, and we kind of give more space for our creatives to flourish, thrive, and be embraced by Oklahomans, whether it's traditional Western art, Native art, contemporary, film. We want people to stay here and live and thrive, and we also want to show off that instead of just sending it out. Embrace it and have people recognize it when they come to the state. That's going to bring businesses, that's going to help people stay here, that's going to make this place more competitive with our neighbors and even across the country.
Now, I want to give you one more chance to sort of highlight anything else that you want to see before we leave off.
Okay, let me think
and
about it.
And we can go, you can take us anywhere.
I'm gonna say this area, this area of the exhibition is in memoriam. We know, you brought up Betty Price, the namesake of this gallery. We lost her a few years ago. Her painting is in this section where we really recognize her contribution. But all of these artists on this wall are artists that we lost, that passed on since the last opening when we had the gallery on the first floor. So what I'd like to feature here is just looking at, in the last 3 to 4 years, we lost all of these artists, and look at the diversity of what they create, from abstract buffaloes. This is Michi Susan, a Japanese-born, but became a U.S. citizen and Oklahoman, became really a staple of the Paseo Arts District in Oklahoma City. But the way that she takes kind of the kimono, her Japanese heritage, and then changes it through using fiber art and collage to make this beautiful abstract piece.
Yeah, I love it.
And her influence. A lot of these artists that we lost in this section are the artists that really made a huge difference and influenced the next generation of artists that we're going to continue to acquire and showcase. So kind of honoring them, I think, is an important part of Aaron's vision for this inaugural exhibition. Making sure that we honor those that have been trailblazers for Oklahoma artists, and then you can see their influence on the next generation.
Right. Yeah, this is a very lovely piece.
Phenomenal, right? Just the scale, the texture. I love it because of its contemporary feel. And then you can feel the large, it's called large kimono. You can feel kind of her background and her young history, and then how she brought that here, but then she's embracing it and expressing it in what it means to be a unique Oklahoman.
Right. Now, as this music is sort of ushering us away.
From Youth Arts Day.
For people who are hoping to visit the Betty Price Gallery, are there certain hours? Is it open whenever the Capitol's open? How's that?
It's open Monday through Friday, so it has a little bit more restricted access. So especially, I hope everyone comes during spring break.
Yes.
Be a great place to come and bring your family and kids to see this exhibition and this space. But it's open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And we also have the QR codes, so use your cell phones, and you can.
The QR codes are very handy.
Right?
I got a lot of information from those during the opening.
Exactly. So, if you're wanting to dive in deeper about the history, about specific pieces that you really connect to, scan that, bring your kids. You can tell them a little bit more about the history and the artist, and dive in deeper.
Yes. And you can also, I know that there's more art to see in the Capitol that's not just here in the gallery. And you can arrange maybe a tour and have someone sort of take you around and show you the art in the Capitol.
Absolutely. So the public areas of the Capitol are open Monday through Friday as well, same hours, 9 to 5. The Oklahoma Arts Council also spearheads and has our docent tours. You can do those by calling and getting on our website to schedule those. But we also have walk-up tours for smaller groups, say families who come, and those are at 11 and at 1 each day, Monday through Friday. So feel free to come and get some good history.
Lots of spring activities at
Lots
the
of things.
Yes.
Free,
Yeah,
air conditioned.
most importantly.
Air conditioned and free.
Air conditioned and free, that's all we're looking for. Well, Amber, thank you so much. We're going to go around and look at the rest of the gallery. So, yeah, come here to the Betty Price Gallery.
Thank you.
That opening was a lot of fun.
Yes.
That was really fun. The art in there was amazing. I'm kind of a sucker for I got to stand there for 5 minutes and talk to George Nye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At
Like
least
stuff like that is always really fun.
Oklahoma governors were there.
Yeah, it was a good time. And Trait Thompson from the Historical Society, we had a nice chat, and there was just a ton of cool people there that were really fun to talk to. Clint Stone, who did that cover, was there.
Clint
Just
Stone.
lots of nice people were there to talk to.
It really is a beautiful gallery, and it was brought up in the interview, but a great thing to do if you're looking for spring break plans, because the Capitol is free to visit, and there's a lot of new art in there, and the Betty Price is a first-rate Oklahoma gallery. So.
And there's an excellent gift shop on the first floor that we highly recommend you stop into.
Also true. Yes, as Nate
Shameless
will show you. Well, you all want to do podvents?
Yeah.
You know, this is the part of the show where we go through the travelok.com event calendar and pick out a few of our favorites. Is there anyone who would like to go first for this week? Kirsten is going first. Thank you, Kirsten.
Of course, Ben. Well, although we are all looking forward to spring, our event, or my event, I should say, is going to throw us back in time.
Okay.
All the way back to the 1930s.
Oh, yeah. This is the one. Okay. Keep going.
Yeah.
I was like, when was Kirsten's event?
Yeah. Well, my event is at the Cherokee Strip Regional Heritage Center in Enid. Because
That's a nice place.
It is.
Yeah.
But they're hosting I think it's a new series. It's Museum After Dark. This one's called Vintage Kids. So it's really just for kids 12 and under. But families are encouraged to bring their kids. It's $10 per kid to get in. They have to be accompanied by a guardian, but the parent or guardian gets in for free.
Oh,
you just have to pay for the kid.
Okay.
But you're encouraged to dress up in your 1930s attire, get in the groove, you know. You'll have a playtime from the past or a 1930s play date, as you will. And there will be various hands-on activities like popular games. You'll make Play-Doh and rag dolls, and then they can decorate their own personal wooden block playset to take home.
Oh, that's
I believe they take it
fun.
home. It says it's for you, so
Yeah, it
take it
sounds
home.
like, yeah.
And then to cap off the night, starting at 7:30 p.m., there will be an interactive live radio show. The whole event itself is from 6 to 8. So, and it'll be
that's fun.
this Friday, March 21st, 6 to 8 p.m.
That sounds like a great time.
Yes. Oh,
Wow.
and before I forget, pre-registration is required, so materials are ready, and that can be done at csrhc.org, and then go to the events calendar and click on March 21st.
Nice. You know, there's another really cool kid thing in Enid, Leonardo's. Children's
Yes.
Museum.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
so if
love
you're
that
going
place.
up to Enid and you want to just really wear the kids out, take them by Leonardo's before you go to this, and they'll sleep very soundly on the way home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
They should have a thing where you can walk uphill both ways. And, that's what I hear. That's what they do exactly.
Don't forget.
Megan, what is your event this time?
Well, mine is Taste of Yukon, which is happening March
that's fun.
20th at the good old Dale Robertson Center, where all sorts of important things happen in Yukon. And this is very important because it involves at least 20 different restaurants. And so there will be a lot of delicious restaurants from the area that will be serving apps, desserts, and main courses. And if you want to get some more information, you can go to yukonok.gov/catalog. And that is CATALOG, not the old-fashioned spelling of catalog. And according to them, adults are 9 years and up.
Oh,
and
okay.
So yeah, you can get tickets. There's tickets for 9 years and up, 4 to 8, and 3 years and under are always free.
Oh.
But I mean, the most you're going to spend on one person getting in is $15 for an adult the day of, or those tickets are $12 in advance. And there was something else I was going to say about this, but it left my mind. So I just think it sounds like a real good time because you get to eat a bunch of food for not very much money. And what is better than that?
That sounds really fun. There's some good restaurants in Utah.
Yeah, no, there are.
There's some really
So,
good restaurants out there.
There are some really good restaurants. It's going to be good eating. So
Nice.
get out there to the
That'll
Dale
be fun.
Robertson Center.
Yeah.
9 and up, that was the logic that was used to put me onto the adult table in my family. So I got young, but no one under me ever got onto the adult table, like even after 18.
Ours was the opposite. Our adult table was so small, and people in my family lived so long that like you basically had to be a grandparent to sit at the adult table.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like I was sitting at the kids' table with my cousins and their kids more than one holiday.
Yeah, this was definitely eldest grandchild privilege.
Oh yeah. Okay.
No, our kids' table just became the young adult table because we never got to move tables.
Yeah.
Nathan, what's your event?
Really good one. Because we get to go to Roman Nose State Park, which is one of my favorite state parks.
Yeah,
Not
really.
only is it close to the city and easy to get to, if you want to just to go out for a quick day hike, but I grew up going there. I love Roman Nose. I'm a huge fan. So our friends at Roman Nose State Park on Wednesday, March 19th, which is 2 days from the day this airs, so get perky and get ready. From 2 to 6 p.m., there's going to be a guided group tour at Roman Nose. This is going to be so fun. So this sounds like the most relaxing, zen-y, like chill out and get in your like good, happy place event, right? Because here's what they're going to do. It's a guided tour of Roman Nose State Park, and you're going to walk up to Inspiration Point. And y'all have been up to Inspiration Point in Roman Nose. It's a gorgeous view, you know, where you have that view all around the prairie and the lakes and all that stuff. While you're hiking, you're going to be collecting leaves to make an art project with later. I know!
Okay.
Doesn't that sound so fun? And in the middle of all that, there's a picnic. I know.
Now I'm sold.
What is this event again?
It's the guided group tour at Roman Nose State Park.
Oh, well, that
Wednesday,
sounds fun.
March 19th from 2 to 6 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, and best part, it's free.
Oh, wow.
I know.
So what do you make out of the leaves? Do you know?
Whatever is in your heart.
Okay.
I know. Isn't that wonderful? So if you want more information or if you want to go, the number out there is 405-295-2770. You can visit travelok.com/Roman Nose, and it'll take you right to the right page. It sounds like that's going to be a lot of fun. It sounds very just chilled out and relaxed, right?
Yes.
So I say, it's on a Wednesday, I say play hooky from work, call in whatever you need to call in.
I'm
not telling you what to do. Well, now I'm going to know. Anyway, it's from 2 to 6 p.m., and I think it's worth taking a half day.
I agree. No
think it's
matter
gonna
what
be
your
fun.
job is.
I think it's going to be really fun. Yeah.
Well,
What's
for
yours?
Mine is actually, it's one of my greatest Oklahoma white whales, actually. Yes, the Big Meat Run in Disney, Oklahoma.
Wow.
This is something ever since I started working here, like I've wanted to like go out there and do something. And I was going to make this year the year, but I did have a scheduling conflict, so it wasn't able to actually happen this year. But at least I'm addressing it here on the podcast. So are we familiar with the Big Meat Run and all it entails?
Vaguely.
So it doesn't have anything to do with like hamburgers or sausage or anything like that.
Off-roading of some
It is
kind.
off-roading, yes.
Yeah.
It's an ATV, basically extravaganza.
Fun.
Yes, and this is on the south end of Grand Lake, near the Pensacola Dam in Disney. And basically, we have a lot of champagne and cocktail type events on the podcast. This is a very dirt, loud, a lot of energy.
Perfect for spring.
Yes, perfect for spring, for people itching to get outside. Just ATVs, just doing the impossible. Climbing up cliffs, big rocks, going through the mud. I mean, what's better than that?
That sounds really fun.
And you might think, oh, that sounds cool, like a few hundred, ATV enthusiasts. No, they get like over 10,000 guests go to this.
It is,
Yeah.
It looks like Mad Max or something
It
out
is
there.
It's huge and intense. And one day I'm going to be there to cover it. Hope maybe for the podcast at some point.
Amazing.
This won't be this year, but stay tuned.
2 Bens enter, 1 Ben leaves.
So the Big Meat Run is going on Thursday through Sunday. This is March 20th through the 23rd. And you can get in touch with them by calling 918-261-8886 or by visiting facebook.com/BMR, I guess that's Big Meat Run, admin. And do we know, so the big meat actually refers to the tires. on the 18th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where the name
Makes
comes from.
more sense. That makes a lot more sense.
It does. Yes. The more you know, as they say. Well, you all want to do the star of the show?
Yes. Who is it?
Well, I gave it to the Oklahoma Arts Council for all the work they've been putting in, not just the Betty Price Gallery, but just putting all that art. If you haven't seen the Capitol recently, you really need to go out there. It's beautiful.
It is. I mean, it really is a world-class art collection.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And the work to put all that art in there and sort of chronicle everything, I mean, that has been consuming the agency for years. So now that the gallery's open, I mean, it kind of represents sort of the last kind of chapter in that. So.
And the whole Capitol renovation is worth checking out. Like, even if, like, outside of the art, like, everything they've done in there is amazing. I mean, we were walking around the other day and I just couldn't believe it.
Definitely.
It was so cool to see.
Yes. You're due for a visit.
Definitely.
No matter how long it's been. Well, this is all we've got for you this week. And this has been the show, known from here to Veneta, home of the famous Clanton's Cafe, as the Oklahoma Today podcast. Head to oklahomatoday.com, pick up our latest issue on newsstands right now. Send your feedback to oktpod@travelok.com. I'll talk to you again next week. Goodbye.
I'm going to go back up on the Widow's Walk and keep an eye out for Carly.
Goodbye.
We'll find her eventually. I don't know where she is.
Lost at sea.
Goodbye.